Okay, here we go. It is December 27th, 1994. It's Jeff Appleby here with my favorite...
1994.
Oh, pardon me, 2004. I'm only off by a decade. I'm here with my favorite great uncle and my favorite great aunt, Uncle Moshe and Auntie Jenny. Auntie Jenny over here is a little camera shy. And the purpose of my visit today, aside from just spending some time with them, is to get some background on the Appleby family. And I guess my first question, this will be very informal, is just, so my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong because it's not the greatest understanding, hence my being here, is that my great-grandparents, your parents, were Labe and Rachel. Laser and Rachel Appleby?
Yeah.
And now were their English names Lewis and Rose?
Right.
We found that out, or I found that out, I guess, maybe a couple of months ago. I went with my father to the cemetery where they're buried, which is right near Bathurst and Eglinton.
Bathurst and Roselawn.
Yeah. And that, I found that to be especially interesting because my grandparents were also named Lewis and Rose.
Well, that's right.
Coincidence?
Yes, so that was kind of interesting.
That's true.
So, your parents and my grandparents, where were they born?
My grandparents?
Your parents.
Your parents.
Oh, my parents. My mother was born in a town called Ostrosa in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And my father was born in a town called Tarlov,
Also in
Poland.
And then did they meet there or did they meet here?
In those days they had never met. You were introduced.
Okay.
You had what was called a shidduch.
Yes.
And that's how people got married in those days. And it didn't matter whether you loved them. There was no such thing as love at the beginning. It wore on you.
Like Fiddler on the Roof, the parents said you'd get to love them.
Right. And so were they introduced in Poland or were they introduced in Canada?
No, Poland.
In Poland. And so they got married there?
Yeah.
And did they have...
And my eldest sister was born there,
Evelyn?
and my brother Lou was born there. He came practically very, very young.
Oh, so, okay, so my grandfather was also born in Poland.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so do you know when approximately they moved here?
My father came,
1910.
he came before my mother, I think, didn't he? Yeah.
1910.
Yeah.
So they came...
And then he brought my mother and Sharky and Evelyn over with them.
And do you know why they moved?
From Poland?
Mm.
Everybody moved from Poland.
Just because?
They moved from Poland to make a better life.
Mm-hmm. And what did Laser do for a living?
He sorted out wool, different wools.
Oh, that's right. I think actually my father has a picture of him in his basement
Yeah, I think
in
so.
some sort of schmutta factory or something. There's him with all these, I guess, cloth and other stuff.
Yeah.
And so did he do that when he moved here as well?
He did it here.
Oh, he did it here. Okay.
He was a Talmud. He sat and he
He
learned.
was a scholar.
Okay, so
He was
there
a scholar there.
All right.
Here you became a worker.
Here he had to make a living.
There the wife went out to work.
Right. And now when they lived in Poland, they were Applebaum.
That's right.
And
And quite a coincidence. Her name was Applebaum. His name was Applebaum, and they were from different towns, and they weren't relations.
They were not related.
No.
No. Okay, that's good to know. And so they moved here. He began sorting schmuttas around 1910. And so when they moved here, they changed the
In
name.
those days,
No, they didn't change the name. Your grandfather changed.
My grandfather
Yeah.
changed the name.
Yeah.
And then,
don't forget your grandfather, he was quite a boy. I think he was about 17. He went to Detroit himself, and he worked in Detroit for a while.
right, that's on my list of questions as well. So he changed the name to Appleby.
That's right.
Did Laser maintain Applebaum for his life?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you and all of the rest of your siblings took Appleby as a
Well,
name?
I got a summer job at the Globe and Mail, or the Mail and Empire. It's
Right.
called the Mail and Empire at that. And my brother Lou was working there, and he couldn't be Appleby and me Applebaum, so I became Appleby. And that's how it started.
And your sisters? Well, I guess they were married, so they had changed their names to their respective
Well, they
husbands.
didn't.
Sally was Appleby.
No, never.
After she divorced, she was Apple. Oh, no, she was
No.
Schwartz.
She was Schwartz.
Okay. So, and where did you guys grow up in Toronto?
In Toronto. But I grew up on Baldwin Street, and Jenny grew up on Euclid.
But he's not interested in my family.
Sure I am. That's
No,
not
but right
true.
now, it's the Apple.
So on Baldwin Street?
Yeah, I'm just, what was it,
You
east or
you
something?
grew up in a lot of streets around
Well, I was
Supply.
born on Walton Street, which was downtown.
It was-
Everybody, all the Jewish people lived on
No,
Walton Street
no, they
downtown.
didn't.
Okay, a couple of Goyim lived up on Euclid Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so did everybody live together in the house, just the family? Or, now I know you were born, you're 8 years younger than my grandfather?
Oh, no.
Or more than that?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay, now did you all live together, or had Evelyn moved out by the time you were born, or
No, she was still there.
she was still there, and my grandfather as well?
Yeah, because he used to give me a quarter to clean the room up, and then we'd play dice, and he'd win it back.
I see. Okay. What else do we have here? So, as you were saying, my grandfather Lou, he, by the time you said he was 17, had moved to Detroit.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's a picture that we have, which I would imagine you're familiar with, of him as a newspaper boy, probably much younger than that, sleeping on the steps. So when did he start working? Like, did he ever go to school, or him and school didn't get along too well?
Guess they didn't get along too well.
No, so he didn't really go to school?
Nobody in those days went too long.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
I beg to differ. My family, we all went to school.
Okay. And did you go to school, Uncle Moish?
Yes.
And did you...
He was the youngest.
I was
You were the youngest,
I was the
okay.
youngest, yeah. But after 16, my mother needed the money.
Right.
Don't forget 6 kids. Whatever.
Yep.
So I went to work at 16.
But my grandfather would have started working before that.
Oh, yeah. Like he was hustling on the papers on the corners when he was a kid.
Huh. I see. And what was he like? What was it like living in the house with all these, your brothers and your sisters?
Well, I was pretty young when
Right, I
Sherry
guess
was
so, that's
living in
true.
the house, and, nothing. It was normal to us.
Uh-huh.
And I think he was making $15 a week, my father, with 6 kids, but there was always enough food in the house, always. And Friday night was a joyous occasion every Friday night. And being the youngest boy, child, he used to grab me by the hand, and I'd have to go to shul Friday night and Saturday mornings. And one shul on Oxford Street when we lived, there was a shul right across the road, so I always had to be over there.
Right. Now, your father was Orthodox, religious, black hat, beard, or no?
Just a gray hat.
You know what? In those years, they all wore black hats. You know, everybody.
Right.
He didn't wear a black hat, though.
My father did.
No.
So, so he didn't have the full beard and all that.
Well, he had a beard.
He had a beard. And he was a very observant man.
Yeah.
Like he kept Shabbos and
Oh,
all that sort of stuff.
But he wasn't a insistent type of person that he let you live your life.
Right. So it was up to each of the children to
Yeah.
kind of decide how they wanted to go about things.
That's right.
And so how was it that my grandfather ended up, as you were saying, in Detroit?
Well, he was always a go-getter,
Uh-huh.
always. And he was always doing things, and tough, and nobody pushed him around. Nobody.
Huh.
And I guess he just wanted the thrill of it.
So he just went there for a couple of years?
Yeah.
And what did he do there? Or nobody knows.
No, he did. No, I know. He was,
You had
Baker.
a lot of family there.
we had family there, kind of on my mother's side. Uh, they became lifelong friends of his, in fact.
Right. Oh, what were
Family.
the people's names? Who I know I think they were at my
They
bar
were?
mitzvah.
Most likely.
They were Applebombs, weren't they?
Oh, not cousins. They were friends. There were some friends
No,
that they
no,
had.
those cousins.
They were
Oh, these were
far-
cousins.
they
Okay.
were
These were cousins.
Okay.
The hell was their name? Well,
Okay.
when you get to be in the 102, you don't remember.
Her name was Gert. I don't.
And
his
the
name-
father's name was Abe, I think.
Abe and
Yeah.
Gert, maybe. Yeah.
And so he went and lived in Detroit for a few years, and then
I think he was an
Moved back
Applebaum
here.
too. Their
Yeah.
name was Applebaum.
Yeah.
okay. And now this one, I don't know if you have
Bennett's
Oh, sorry.
were his good
that.
friends.
Yes, those are the people. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The Bennett's. That's right. Do you remember when Lou met Rose? When he met
Well,
my
I must
grandmother?
have been, I don't think I was 13 yet. And she lived on Benally Street with an aunt. Rose did. Benally Street, that's near Queen.
Okay.
Between Dundas and Queen, something like that. And he was going steady with her, or he was seeing her. And he took me by the hand one day and he brought me to Benally Street to meet Rose. I was the first one to meet her.
Hmm.
And they had a piano in the house there, and I was really thrilled with her. And that was it. Very pretty girl, Rose was. Very pretty. Nice girl.
Hmm. I vaguely recall her. I think I was maybe 5 when she passed away. So.
Yeah.
I think Dina looks like Rose.
Hmm.
And so does Jerry.
I think my dad looks a little bit more like Lou from the
Yeah.
pictures that I've seen. They look kind of similar. But yeah, I think Auntie Dina looks a lot like Rose. What else do we have here?
I have some pictures, and Ronnie didn't steal all my
Oh, he didn't
pictures
take all
yet.
your pictures? Okay.
I have some in the my picture room. You'll go in and see it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Anything else?
I don't know. What about? Do you have any recollection of how many brothers and sisters Laser had? How
He
many?
had one
I guess.
sister in the old country.
Uh-huh.
And I had a picture of her, and Ronnie's got it, I think. He had a sister and his mother. Father, I never don't remember. He must have died quite young.
Right.
I remember the mother being a very heavy woman,
Mm-hmm.
and the sister was a very pretty woman. And she had a daughter. In this picture that I don't know where.
Dina's named after your father's mother.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Babadina, yeah. And
And Ronnie, Big Ronnie, is named after your father's father, Rachmel.
And what about Rachel? Do you remember any? Did she have brothers or sisters?
yeah, she had two brothers, Sam and Max. One lived in Montreal,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one lived out in the Junction, which is what Dundas and Runnymede was
Okay.
called, the Junction, here in Toronto.
Okay.
At that time, it wasn't Toronto.
Right.
And Max lived across the road from the Junction Street Shul Synagogue, and he was the gabbai of the synagogue at the later years in life. And they had a mikveh in the synagogue, and we used to fellow by the name of Joey Tannenbaum.
Yep.
The Tannenbaum family lived out in the Junction, and they kept that show alive, which they do now. And we used to have once a year, we'd have a big do out there that Joey made. We were all invited. So it was, to this day, Joey and my son Ronnie are very close friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam lived in Montreal. He had, how many children did he have? 3? 4? 4 children. And Max had 2 children. The daughter passed away quite young, and the son is still, Jackie Appleby, still around. And
then I noticed as well in the book from the dinner for Ronnie
yeah,
that there was a picture in there of, I think it would be your grandparents.
yeah,
Right.
oh yeah,
Do you remember them at all?
Sure.
oh yeah, quite well. They lived on Euclid Street, just below Dundas, right? And they at one time had a grocery store in the front part of their house. And later on,
So they would have moved. Did they move at the same time that your parents moved here?
oh no, they were here first. They brought my father over.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see. So they came first, and then sent for their kids, who then came and then sent for some of their kids.
yeah.
Ah. And so they owned a grocery store on Euclid Street.
And they used to belong to the Markham Street Show. Markham. That's the street, just, it was Bathurst, Markham, Palmerston, Euclid, Manning.
And so they also came from the same place in Poland as your parents would have come from.
No, which parent? My mother. What are you
Well,
talking
okay.
about?
I don't
We're
know.
getting
I
mixed
guess
up now.
I am getting
it's
mixed
his
up.
mother's parents.
Okay, the picture in there would have been your
That's my
mother's
mother's
parents.
parents,
Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
and so they would have come from the same place in Poland.
Okay. Like I say, most of my pictures of Ronnie's got somewhere.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I think that answers most of my questions.
You want
at
to
least.
take a picture of Ilston
Yeah, sure. That
Okay,
would be
come
fun.
on.
You can do that.
in the
Put
room?
this on pop. Here we go. Here we are in Uncle Moshe's picture room. Oh wow. There certainly are lots of pictures.
Here's all the,
Who do we have here? There's Gwen and Jerry.
those are both sides of my nephews and nieces.
And there's Auntie Tina and Uncle Arnie. And there we go there.
Just want to get the,
So who do we have?
yeah, that's my mother's father.
Let's see. There you go. So here.
Yeah, that's Naftula,
Okay.
and that's my mother's mother.
Okay, so that would be my great grandmother.
And this is my father and mother.
Oh wait, I'm on the wrong picture. Sorry. There we go.
That's my mother and
So
father.
that's Laser and Rachel.
Yeah, there they are again with the parents later on in years.
There. Okay.
And the rest you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And actually, now that I think about it as well, they were Laser and Rachel, or Lewis and Rachel, and my first name is Lewis, and Shayna's first name is Rachel.
Yeah.
Her middle name is Shayna.
So that's,
Again, 3 times. Which is kind of neat.
there's Auntie Sally there.
Is that here? There.
You know who that is.
Here we have a picture of Uncle Moshe with hair.
Not a bad looking kid.
Not bad at all.
And this is Ronnie Appleby when he was a little boy.
That's Ron? No.
Well, pardon me, that's Adam. No,
Okay.
that's Ronnie.
No, that's not Ronnie.
That's Ron? Okay, it's Adam.
Yeah, that must be.
Well, let me check it out.
All right.
Shut it off. Page in the newspaper that was called the Telegram in those days.
Uncle Moshe in the newspaper with the... No, that's the downtown theater, not the
Yeah,
uptown.
no, that's the downtown.
Where was that?
At Yonge and Dundas Square.
Oh, okay, so right at the Eden Center?
No, across the road.
Yeah.
Then I managed the Imperial Theater.
Hmm.
And then I opened up the Uptown Theater. The first 5 complexes. From the downtown, I opened up the Uptown Theater.
Right.
That was the first complex. Then I opened up the Eaton Center, which was 21 theaters.
Wow.
Yeah. And it didn't work out though, so they had to cut it.
Oh, okay, it started as 21 and then it was down to like 10 or something like that, wasn't it?
Then they started building others, but they never made more than 10. It wasn't practical. One of the theaters had 60 seats. It was hard to get enough movies for it.
That's for sure.
And this, of course, is a collage. I used to be pretty good at it, and I made a collage on Jenny's on Mother's Day, 1990.
Mm-hmm.
And Jenny, when we were down south, all the time she used to say in Jewish, Kim means let's go. Kim, Geist. And she'd be yelling all the time, Kim, Geist, are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming? And then I found out Kim, and when we were in Israel, Bo in Hebrew means Kim.
Ah.
So I said, until she starts calling me Bo Geist, I'm not coming. A joke. So anyway, I made this collage of Jenny on Mother's Day. With every picture was of her.
Uh-huh. Wow.
And then Variety Club of Ontario, I won this award, and this was from I was a life member of Baycrest, and this one was I was president of the Eretz Israel Brotherhood in 1983-84. Oh my God, 20 years ago. And this one, I used to run the services, the mental hospital for the Jewish mental patients. For at every holiday, Ontario Multi-Faith Council, I'd run the services, Passover, before the high holidays, before Sukkot, and I'd make a menu I'd take with me from our synagogue. I'd take the boys with me, and I'd run the service, so they presented me with this spiritual and religious care. Center for Addiction and Mental Health.
And this actually reminds me, this cork wall that you have, reminds me that one time in the summer, when we used to stay at Dina's cottage for the whole summer, I guess when I was really young, that we made a cork board, one for me, one for Lainey, and one for Mark. You helped us make them, and we put our names on them. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
You don't? That was quite some time ago. I don't think I still have it. Well, I think that will be, I don't know, I think that might be the end of our official program here, so I'm going to sign off on the video, and thank you very much.
Pleasure having you here.
Auntie Jenny as well for...
And don't forget my address.
I won't.
Come again.
Absolutely.
In good health.
Yes.